And this is the Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame show. And in what has been a mostly superhuman season for team and goaltender, the Rangers and Igor Shesterkin were far more human than super on this night. Welcome inside the Delta MSG studios, John Giannone alongside Steve Valiquette. 6-2 the final, the Blues over the Rangers. It started early, it was often, and for only the second time in his 80 NHL starts, Igor Shesterkin was pulled from a game for performance after allowing 4 goals in 20 minutes and 15 seconds.
Correct, for performance. Not leaving because of an injury, but right. Performance. And this performance, it was of the mercy variety. It was, let's save our starter. He's been our MVP, and we don't want him to get damaged any further after 4 goals. And look, all 4 were grade A. All 4 were grade A, wide open, lots of time, lots of space. There's no blame to be had on Igor for this game. It was a team loss. But you know, back it up a little bit here. And this is what I'm thinking about. We're in year 4 of a rebuild, one that was stripped to the chassis. And how many games have we seen like this?
Not many.
Not many, John. Not many. Now, part of that is because you have had Igor stepping in and doing the job that he's doing, picking up for Henrik after he retired. And so you've got that going for you. Now, here's what I'm thinking. You look at Arizona, you look around the league at Edmonton or Buffalo, and you can keep going down that list. A lot of these teams are on their 3rd rebuild. And this Ranger one has been terrific. Now, the only thing I wonder about after a game like this is, can you just stop it right there and not have that carry over to Dallas? Because as we get closer to March 21st, the players' responsibility is to give President and General Manager Chris Drury every opportunity to pull triggers to help us, because up until this point, the players have earned that. They've earned that. That's what we know. We know in the locker room that we are playing for help. We know where we need help. We talk all the time, whether it's in the hotel rooms or on the bus or on the plane. Who can we get around the league to help us? Who's available? We have friends on other teams. There's a lot of talk. Now, what you understand is that collectively, and this is a great leadership group. I believe in this group as a leadership group. I'm telling you right now, they're saying, hey, none of this. That's a one-off. We're going to prepare ourselves for Dallas, because you do not want this to carry over to Dallas and have another 6-2 game and then come home and have you can't go there, or else Chris isn't going to do anything.
Right. Worth noting along those lines, the Rangers have allowed as many as 11 goals in consecutive games only one other time this year. It was when they allowed 6 and 6 to Edmonton and Calgary. They followed that up by winning 11 of their next 12. So this coaching staff, which will become a construction crew over the next 2 days before Dallas, knows what to do to get this ship righted. We will see if it happens. Igor Shesterkin started the night with the best save percentage in the NHL at .942, on the cusp of challenging that record by Jacques Plante of .944. But now that save percentage goes down to .939 after he allowed the 4 goals in the first period plus.
And you know what, John? I do want to make a point of this. I don't think that's bothered him. I don't think that chatter is something that got in and interfered with his performance tonight. I think it was just one of those games where St. Louis had lost 4 games in a row. They came out with their hair on fire. They were possessed, and they took advantage. And look, this was from puck drop. They imposed their will on this game, and when they got scoring opportunities, they were layups, okay? That is a grade A+, twice across the ice type of play. A pass like this one from behind the net to slot, Igor has no view of anybody in front, grade A opportunity. Same thing with this one, goal number 3. It's a recovered puck quickly from St. Louis. Time, space, enough room to drag to the middle of the ice, slot area chance, grade A. And the last one here for Igor is a misstep by Zibanejad, which we rarely see, and a wide open opportunity in front of the net again. It's one of those games where you hope to say it's a one-off, but Igor's coming off the ice, and he doesn't feel that way right now. I'm sure he's frustrated, and it's Georgiev into the net, and look, thankfully for Georgiev, he only gives up the 2, so you're not looking at a bigger inflated score. One that you hope is easier to get over and just park, because they did at least have a clean sheet in the 3rd period.
Yeah, and Igor Shesterkin has 38 results this season. That was only his 7th loss in regulation time out of 38 games on the ledger. So now the question, and Henrik sits here and talks about how unflappable Igor Shesterkin is, how very little, if anything, bothers him. Where do you think this might bother him, and what do you need to see over the next day? Like, if he's in practice, what's he doing?
Well, I could tell you this, just to start with. outside noise, I don't think it interferes with his bubble, right? And the reason why is because it's a foreign language. When I played in Russia, I played in Russia for 2 years. I had a great season my first season, my second season not so great. It didn't matter to me game to game. I didn't read anything. I couldn't read it. I couldn't hear it. And I think to a large degree that helps him, because everybody around hockey right now, whether you're in Canada or the United States, is talking about his save percentage. And if he's the MVP, is he better than Austin Matthews? I don't even think that's getting into his bubble, because as Benoit Allaire would put it, when the bubble gets too big, it bursts. And if you let too much noise in, it will explode. I don't think that was an imploding game for him. And what I think is going to happen is he's going to understand that wasn't his game, as far as this is not typically what we see from the New York Rangers in front of me. I'm going to play my system. I'm going to stick to my guns and have my same structure. And I'm going to play on Saturday against Dallas, and it's going to be a different outcome. I'll play this. He's not going to change anything, right? Those were 4 grade A opportunities that ended up in the back of the net that we've seen him have outstanding performances in first periods to be able to get a game going where the team recovers. It just didn't happen that way. I mean, come on, we had open nets. I just said we. I'm not playing for the team anymore. I'm getting rattled. But no, but I mean, Husso made a number of saves where it could have easily have been a fair score, and then maybe the Rangers could have got away with one.
And that is a point to be made. Now, remember, for Igor Shesterkin, in his last 11 games, he's allowed more than 2 in a game only twice. Tonight and last Wednesday, also against the Blues. He won't see them again until the Stanley Cup final, if they happen to both get that far. As far as the Ranger chances, they certainly did have a ton. They didn't score 5-on-5, but they scored twice on the power play on a night where maybe Ville Husso deserves some credit for keeping the Rangers at bay.
Look, he's one of the best young goalies in the game right now. He was supposed to be the next in line after Jake Allen. And what happened was Binnington came in and stole the show, and Ville Husso continued to develop in the American Hockey League. He's improved his structure. He's got his feet under him, and he's very good laterally. Now, he stole this one. I think Hunt, moreover, shot that into him more than he made a save. But he did throw the car door, as we would say. But this one on Panarin here, that's a key save. With 5.5 in the first period, it could have been a 2-1 game. That may have changed things. Hedl, on a good note, was driving the net, and at least he gets a call there. An opportunity again. He went one-handed like that against the Pittsburgh Penguins a couple of years ago. He doesn't get that one to go. And then Gauthier on the breakaway. The Rangers haven't had a great season on breakaways. They really haven't. And there is a key to scoring on breakaways, and I think that this is also a time, too, where you take a second look at what our approach is on breakaways.
All right, so that's what happened in net tonight. That's what happened on the offensive side. 11 goals in the last 2 games. Where, if anywhere, is the cause for alarm? We heard Joe Micheletti at the end of the broadcast say, really time to clean up in your own end. Where does that cleaning have to be done?
Okay, so does this happen again? I'm wondering if the Rangers are going to face an opponent like this. Now, here's the thing that's happening in the NHL. Goal scoring is up. Just look at the scores every morning from the night before, and the scores are through the roof, right? We haven't seen scoring like this since the lockout in 04-05. I wonder if there's fatigue, and I'm not talking Rangers here. I'm just talking league-wide fatigue. There is missed practices, okay? And the only way that, and we're seeing a lot of backup goalies, and we're seeing a lot of number 3s playing games right now, so that's a contributing factor. I wonder if missed practice is starting to affect what's happening because of the condensed schedule from COVID. I wonder if we're going to see a different playoff this year with teams trying to outscore other teams. It's always been defense first. I just wonder what's going to happen in the league. But if I look at the Rangers tonight, that was a one-off because St. Louis had lost 4, and they imposed their game. The first 3 times the Rangers were facing rush chances from St. Louis, they dumped it on Shesterkin so they could get a face-off and then drive the net again. And they got 3 penalty calls in the first period.
Right, and that set the Rangers back as well, killing 3 penalties in the first 10 minutes.